If you're trying to choose a weight loss coach, you're probably making at least 3 of these 7 mistakes, and it's exactly why nothing has worked for you. This episode is for you if you've invested your time and money, you've followed programs to the T, but still ended up back where you started. I'm Holly Bertone, former FBI Chief of Staff for Counterintelligence, now known as the Emotional Eating Profiler and Coach. I've helped hundreds of women break their emotional eating patterns without diets or willpower. And in today's episode, I'm going to walk you through 7 specific criteria to help you choose the right weight loss coach and program so you stop wasting time, money, and energy on the things that don't work. And I'm guessing you're already skeptical. The first thing you're probably thinking is, yeah, Holly, you're just going to trash all the other coaches and give me some kind of sales pitch to work with you. And if you are thinking that, I'm guessing it's because you have experienced this before. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am not the coach for everyone. If you are not a good fit, I don't want you as a private client. I don't want you in the group coaching container. This does not mean, listen clearly, this does not mean I'm bad or you're bad. It just means it's not a good fit. And that is entirely okay, because that's not what this episode is about. With the 7 criteria, first, you are going to look at how to objectively evaluate the coach, and then how to objectively evaluate the program. So let's start with number 1. Many women will hire a coach or join a program because they follow them on social media and they genuinely vibe with the coach. 1,000%. That is important. I mean, this is typically where I find the coaches and programs that I join. You're investing your time and money. You genuinely want to enjoy your time together. You genuinely want to get results from the program. In fact, I literally just got off a client call, and one of the last things she said was, I'm so glad we're working together, and I'm so glad that we're on the same wavelength about things. So yes, that is important, but I am going to challenge you here to take it one step further, because what you see on social media is the social media version of them. It's not always the real person behind the scenes. There's a great quote that says, if you want what they have, do what they do. So the first thing that you can do is simply evaluate, how do they show up? And is what they have something that you want? Here are some questions you can ask. What are their values? And do their values align with mine? And no, this is not about agreeing with them on every single thing. What is their lifestyle? Are they flashy and bragging about material things, or do they have a more grounded lifestyle? Again, neither good or bad, but what is in alignment with your values? How do they present themselves? What do they actually look like? And no, when I say what do they look like, this is not a fat versus thin conversation. What I am talking about here is, do they look healthy? Do they look vibrant? Or do they look like they're frazzled? Do they look like they just got run over by a train? And then this is important with weight loss, but especially with emotional eating. What is their own relationship with food? Are they real and genuine and authentic as a person? Or do they seem more performative on social media? And if it does seem performative, I'll even go a step further and say, does it feel like a thirst trap? Because there are some out there who are like that. One of my clients recently asked me for help in evaluating working with a coach with something completely unrelated and outside of the scope of what I'm qualified to do. So we had a conversation about it. And one of the first things that she said was, she's like, I'm getting really good results doing ABC, but he's pushing me to do XYZ, which I'm not sure about. And she said, plus he's being pushy to get me to buy his program. So we took about 10 minutes and we objectively walked through this. And at the end, I helped her to come up with a different game plan. And here's the other thing too, is that all coaches out there, all of us, every single one of us, we have some kind of program to sell. It is our business. It is our livelihood. It's how we put a roof over our head. It's how we put food on the table. Just like when you go to your favorite restaurant, or you go to your favorite coffee shop, or you hire an electrician or a plumber This is our business. We need sales and we need customers to sustain our business. But how are they approaching that sales process with you? And how do you feel inside of that sales container? Also, keep in mind, social media size does not equate to whether a coach is ethical or unethical or effective or not effective. Because there are some pretty big names out there who, I'm just going to say it, I personally believe they are extremely harmful to the industry, and they've got 250,000, 500,000, million followers. And there are some phenomenal coaches out there with under 1,000 followers who I would work with all day long. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. The second criteria, many women evaluate based on the information they get from the coach on social media. But the better question to ask is, when they present this information, are they confident or are they condescending? And this is one of my biggest pet peeves in the industry because I do not tolerate bullies. There is a huge difference between differences in professional opinions because we are all going to have differences. That's how it's supposed to be. Some of my best friends are in the industry. We don't always agree on everything, and that's entirely okay. But there is a huge difference between differences of opinions and differences in our practice and just completely shredding other coaches for what they stand for. Just because it's different than how or what you coach. And unfortunately, I can just name right off the bat at least 5 of these coaches. And I'm sure there's more. I block them actually on social media, but they have huge followings and they do this. They are predatory. And here's my perspective is that all of us coaches, we have our own platform on social media. So you know what? Say what you want. Fight for the hill that you are going to die on. That is totally cool. That's why we have platforms. But my friend, when you are evaluating a coach, this is when you can ask yourself, is this coach standing up for what they believe? Or are they bullying other coaches who think differently from them? And do they speak with confidence or are they condescending? Are they speaking down to me? And the pattern that I see over and over again, this isn't just coaches, but insecure people are the only people who tear others down to feel good about themselves. But on the flip side of that, the confident coaches, anyone who's confident that you see, but especially the confident coaches, they are going to be the ones who are supporting other coaches, even supporting other coaches who think differently than them. And the confident coaches are going to be the ones who are going to be ultimately cheering for your success. So at the end of the day, ask yourself, does this coach make me feel small? Because chances are you're going to want a coach who is going to challenge you to think bigger, which is the perfect segue to number 3. Many women are drawn to the coaches who are friendly and approachable. But the better question to ask is, are they challenging me? And if you've tried coaches and programs and plans in the past and they haven't worked, this one is critical because ask yourself, is this coach telling me what I want to hear? Or are they giving me the uncomfortable truth about how I need to change? And my friend, that uncomfortable truth is extremely difficult to hear. It's hard to hear. But you're not hiring your coach to be your friend. You're hiring your coach to help you peel back the layers of that onion. You're hiring that coach to help you undo what got you here in the first place, to help you build in what you need to make those changes sustainable. One of the first things I tell my private clients and any of the students who join my program, I say, this is not the Holly Bertone show. I do not want you walking around saying, oh, I'm in this new program and Holly said to do this and Holly said to do that. No, absolutely not. What I do want is for you to take complete responsibility and ownership. And you are doing what you are doing because you want to do it, not because Holly Bertone said to do it. I mean, think about how many diets you've gone on in the past, how many times you've told people about the rules that you have to follow, because that's what you've been told to do. I have to eat this, I can't eat that. If your rules are dependent on you following someone else's rules, what happens when that someone else is no longer there to support you? So these are the first three criteria. These are the criteria that you can use to evaluate the coach. Next, let's look at the 4 criteria where you can evaluate the program. Number 4, most women ask, does this coach or program sound interesting? But the better question to ask, does this coach solve the specific problem that I want to solve? Because it is so easy to get lured into the shiny objects, but how often do those shiny objects actually deliver? So what you want to do instead is really examine their methodology. Do they have a framework? Do they have a success path mapped out? What does it look like, and does it align with what you want to accomplish? Are they talking about how to just lose weight, or are they talking about sustainability? Neither is right or wrong. It's just a matter of what specifically are you looking for. And then also you can ask, does this coach make me rely on them, or are they teaching me the skills to do this on my own? When I work with my one-on-one clients, we start with a 3-month container. And my goal in those 3 months is to help her fly on her own. After the 3 months are over, we evaluate if she wants to continue on, whether it's full coaching or partial coaching or just a checking in capacity, or if she's ready to do this on her own. And then also I want you to keep in mind, we are talking about sustainable weight loss. So anytime you talk about sustainable weight loss, any coach worth their salt is going to say you're looking at a year, 18 months to actually be on the quote unquote other side of that transformation, whether you work with a coach or not. That is the container that you want to be looking at when you're talking about permanent sustainable change. And I just love graduation day with my clients. I mean, it's sad because, we say goodbye, but it means I did my job. And I am so freaking proud of how my clients show up and do the work. And all this being said, this is your chance to stop chasing that outcome and really start becoming that woman who is committed to the process, who is committed to that year of developing the identity, developing the skills, developing the habits so that you can make this sustainable for the long run. Number 5, a question that rarely gets asked that should actually get asked: what are the characteristics of your top clients? What do they all have in common to get results compared to the women in your container who continue to struggle? Write this one down, because this is probably one of the most important questions that you can ask when considering working with a coach. This question isn't just important, it's actually going to hold up a mirror as to how are you going to show up and what kind of results are you going to get. Meaning, your coach is there to give you the systems, the framework, the tools, the methodology, the coaching. But your job is to do the work, plain and simple. And then ask yourself, am I the woman who does show up with these characteristics to succeed? And if not, how can I find that conviction in myself? Number 6, many women ask, what is the success rate? And this is a great question because it's important to know. But the problem with this is exactly how do you define success, and especially in weight loss? Because people think of quote unquote success as maybe a before or after photo, when oftentimes it's actually just marketing. I mean, success just meant that it worked for someone else in a period of time, but it doesn't mean it's going to work for you, and especially if you're looking at sustainability. So the better question to ask, and especially this one's especially important if you're looking at a group environment: what type of results do women like me get? And how long is it before they're seeing results? And what do these results look like? So, this right here, those questions are going to be a better indicator of what that coaching container is going to look like for you and your success. And I'll give you an example of what private clients can expect with me is the first 2 months, we do not focus on weight loss. We focus on removing self-sabotage. We focus on dismantling the patterns that have been keeping her stuck. We focus on building the identity and the conviction and the behaviors of the woman who can do this forever. So if your goal is just, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds in the next 2 months, I am not the coach for you, and that's okay. But if you want to actually learn how to brainwash yourself, if you want to rewire how you think and how you show up, so this actually does become effortless, and hey, even lose 5 or 10 pounds along the way, that is exactly what we do. And that is why my clients invest in my coaching. Number 7, many women ask the coach, how are you going to keep me accountable? When the better question to ask is, how are you going to help me become accountable to myself? Your coach is not going to be there 24/7 in your pocket. Your coach is not there standing in the pantry at 9 o'clock with you every night. Your coach is not sitting at the restaurant with you when the dessert tray comes out. Your coach is not at work with you when it's birthday celebration and they bring out the sheet cake. Your coach is not in bed with you at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're spiraling about everything in your life. And yeah, that would be kind of awkward. You should never, ever, ever have to rely on your coach to achieve your results. You want to ask your coach, how are you going to help me stand on my own 2 feet? This right here, this is why I graduate so many of my clients in 3 months. Their journey is far from over, but they have the skills that they need to continue to do this on their own. And the best part, they don't just have the confidence in their skills, they have that conviction that this is who I am. My premium clients, they pay me to have Holly in their pocket throughout the week. In addition to our weekly coaching session, they have access to me, whether on WhatsApp or Voxer. But even then, I still have boundaries when I answer them. I'm not going to be there at 9 o'clock at night in the pantry because I'm in bed at 9 o'clock at night. So this should not be about how your coach is holding you accountable. This should be about how your coach is helping you to figure this out, helping you to find that agency and that ownership and that sovereignty within, so you never have to outsource this part of you. If you only remember one thing from this episode, let it be this. The goal is not to find a coach who keeps you on track. It is for you to become someone who doesn't fall off track. And it's not for you to find the perfect coach. It's about you becoming the woman who no longer needs a coach. And we didn't really touch on this one, so I'll just throw it in as a bonus as we wrap up. Are you the type of woman who wants a DIY approach? Meaning, you know you have the discipline and the integrity with yourself to complete an online program. So whether the coach has an online program, or are you the type of woman who wants to be in a group environment with other people who are getting the coaching? Or are you ready to invest the time and money into a one-on-one premium coaching container? All 3 of these options are effective. It's just a matter of where you are at on your journey and what kind of time and money you're willing to invest. I hope this was helpful to give you the criteria to think about when working with a coach or a program so you can find the best fit for you. Because that evaluation should be more than just evaluating a coach on recipes or macros or how much you vibe on social media. That being said, if this is something you resonated with and something that you're looking for, click on the link below the video, and that is going to take you to another page where you can join the Break Emotional Eating Accelerator, and for a one-time investment that is less than a typical Target run. Inside the Break Emotional Eating Accelerator, and in just 10 days, you're going to shut off the emotional eating patterns driving your cravings so food stops controlling your life, healthier choices are automatic, and weight loss finally becomes sustainable. And you'll get some pretty cool bonuses. And if you're the type of woman who wants to make the investment to go all in, I will also leave a link for you to apply for private coaching. I only work with 3 or 4 clients at a time, so spots are limited based on availability. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Holly Bertone, and this is Weight Loss Forensics.